Nimbarka is known for propagating the Vaishnava Theology of Dvaitadvaita or dualistic non-dualism. It is also known as Bhedabheda philosophy, according to scholars headed by Prof.Roma Bose. He lived in the 13th century on the assumption that Śrī Nimbārkāchārya was the author of the work Madhvamukhamardana, according to Nimbarka Sampradaya. However, Śrī Nimbārkāchārya appeared over 5,000 years ago, in the year 3096 BCE, at the time when the grandson of Arjuna was on the throne. He hailed from the present-day Andhra Pradesh, in South India. Mungai village Pathan, which is now in East Maharashtra, is also considered as his birthplace. Bhedabheda has placed him as a philosopher after Ramanuja and has maintained his demise date as 1162 AD. Some hold that he is dated around 13th century. However, S.N. Dasgupta dated Nimbarka to around middle of 14th century. On the other hand, S.A. Arizvi assigns the date of circa 1130 to 1200 AD, but Jadunath Sinha has counted him as a 13th century philosopher, and Tarashan has held him to be a younger contemporary of Ramanuja. Current scholarship has pointed out that in Bhedabheda's own work it is clearly stated that this was an approximation based on an extremely flimsy calculation, yet most scholars chose to honor his suggested date, even until modern times. Current scholars have demonstrated with a high degree of clarity that Nimbarka and his immediate disciple Srinivasa flourished well before Ramanuja, and that Srinivasa was a contemporary, or just after Śrī. This clearly settles the debate pending an in-depth investigation of this already tested hypothesis, that Nimbarka is a contemporary or just before Śrī. Philosophy. Nimbarka's philosophical position is known as Dvaitadvaita. The categories of existence, according to him, are three: I, cit, acit, and isvara. Cit and acit are different from isvara, in the sense that they have attributes and capacities, which are different from those of isvara. Isvara is independent and exists by himself, while cit and acit have existence dependent upon him. At the same time, cit and acit are not different from isvara, because they cannot exist independently of him. Difference means a kind of existence which is separate but dependent, while non-difference means impossibility of independent existence. Thus Nimbarka equally emphasizes both difference and non-difference, as against Ramanuja, who makes difference subordinate to non-difference, inasmuch as that cit and acit do not exist separately from Brahman, but its body or attributes. Thus, according to Nimbarka, the relation between Brahman on the one hand and the souls and universe on the other is a relation of natural difference, non-difference, just like between snake and coil, or between sun and its rays. Just as the coil is nothing but the snake, yet different from it, just as the different kinds of stones, though nothing but earth, are yet different from it, so the souls and the universe, though nothing but Brahman, are different from him because of their own peculiar natures and attributes. Thus, according to Nimbarka, there are three equally real and co-eternal realities, viz. Brahman, the cit and the acit. Brahman is the controller, the cit the enjoyer, and the acit the object enjoyed. Nimbarka accepts Parinamavada to explain the cause of animate and inanimate world, which he says exist in a subtle form in the various capacities which belong to Brahman in its natural condition. Brahman is the material cause of the universe in the sense that Brahman brings the subtle rudiments into the gross form by manifesting these capacities. For Nimbarka, the highest object of worship is Krishna and his consort Radha, attended by thousands of gopis, or cowherds, of the celestial Vrindavan. Devotion, according to Nimbarka, consists in prapatti, or self-surrender. 5 sadhanas. Śrī Nimbārka refers to 5 methods to salvation: karma, performed conscientiously in a proper spirit with one's varna and asrama, thereby giving rise to knowledge which is a means to salvation; vidya, not as a subordinate factor of karma but also not as an independent means for everyone, only for those inclined to spending vast lengths of time in scriptural study and reflection on deeper meanings. Upasana jhana. It is of 3 types. First is meditation on the Lord as one's self, i.e., meditation on the Lord as the inner controller of the sentient. Second is meditation on the Lord as the inner controller of the non-sentient. Final one is meditation on Lord himself as different from the sentient and non-sentient. This is again not an independent means to salvation for all, as only those qualified to perform the upasana can perform this sadhana. Prapatti, devotion and self-surrender to God as Śrī Radhikārsana. This method of attaining salvation, known as prapatti sadhana, contains elements of all the other means, and is most importantly available to all. Men, women, foreigners, all classes and castes are permitted to seek liberation through this, the most important sadhana. It is referred to as sadhana bhakti, devotion through regulations. This in turn leads to parabhakti, the highest devotion characterized by madhurya rasa, the sweet emotions of devotion experienced by those perfected in sadhana bhakti. Guru pasati, devotion and self-surrender to Guru, best realized as a part in prapatti, and not as an independent means, although it can be so. Śrī Nimbārka made the Bhashya of the Brahma Sutra on his Dvaitadvaita Vedanta in his famous book, Vedanta Parijati Saurabha. The disciplic tradition today. Upon reaching the leader Swami Vyasadevacharya, the 35th leader, the tradition was reformed. He anointed 12 of his senior disciples to lead missions throughout the land. The most famous are Swami Parasuramadevacharya and Swami Svabhuramadevacharya. Swami Parasuramadevacharya was to remain the leader of the entire movement. He was given the salagrama deity known as Risavsvara that was handed down through time, that is believed from Nimbarka himself. The 48th and current leader of the entire Nimbarka Sampradaya is H.D.H. Jagadguru Nimbarkāchārya Swami Radhasavsvara Araranyadevacharya, known in reverence as Riji Maharaja by his followers. He is based in Nimbarka, Rajasthan, India. He is the current leader of the Sampradaya, who worships the salagrama deity known as Risavsvara. His followers are mainly in Rajasthan and Vrindavana, Mathura. He established the mandir at the birthsite of Śrī Nimbārkāchārya in Mungai village, Pathan, Maharashtra in 2005. In addition, he oversees the maintenance of thousands of temples, hundreds of monasteries, schools, hospitals, orphanages, cow shelters, environmental projects, memorial shrines, etc., and arranges various scholarly conventions, religious conferences, medical camps and outreach, etc. Swami Svabhuramadevacharya was born in Budayu village outside Jagadri in Yamunanagar near Kurukshetra in modern Haryana, India. He established over 52 temples in Punjab, Haryana and Vrihar during his lifetime. His current followers are found mostly in Vrindavana, Haryana, Punjab, Bengal, Rajasthan, Orissa, Assam, Sikkim, Bihar, other regions in Uttar Pradesh and Maharashtra. In his following disciplic lineages, there are many branches, including the line of Khatir Baba. Swami Svabhuramadevacharya was the elder disciple of Swami Śrī Vyasadevacharya, and Khatir Baba follows this tradition of saints. Other notable saints of that line of Guru Acharyas include the famous Saint Swami Chatur Chintamani Nagarji Maharaj, who started the Vrava Parikrama. This tradition has been continuously maintained over 528 years by the Acharyas of the Svabhurama Dwara. In this same tradition, Swami Śrī Nimbārkāchārya Baba came to Vrindavan and made his first monastery there. Currently this parampara is led by the 57th Acharya of Svabhuram Dwara of Nimbarka Sampradaya, Swami Rasbihari Das Khatir Baba Sri Khatir Baba Karstan, Sridham, Vrindavan, India. This ashram is known as the Guru Gadi, or seat of the Guru, of the Sampradaya, as a continuation of the lineage of Swami Ram Das Khatir Baba, Swami Santadas Khatir Baba and Swami Dhananjaya Das Khatir Babaji Maharaj. Swami Dhananjaya Das Khatir Babaji built several ashrams. The present Acharya Swami Rasbihari Das Ji Khatir Baba has constructed 20 new temples and monasteries in India and abroad. Another Acharya of this lineage is Swami Brindaban Bihari Das Mahanta Maharaj at Khatir Baba Kar Ashram, Shivala, Varanasi, Uttar Pradesh and Sukhcha, 24 Parganas, West Bengal, who has undertaken projects for orphans and aged persons, building schools and elderly care homes. He travels relentlessly to spread Nimbarka philosophy through world religion conferences held in US, UK, Sweden, Africa, Bangladesh and other different countries across the globe. The Sukhcha Khatir Baba Ashram was originally established by Swami Dhananjaya Das Khatir Baba and is presently headed by Swami Brindababi Haridas Mahanta Maharaj. The famous teacher and leader Swami Haripriya Ararangudivacharya founded the temple and monastery at Bihariji Ka Bagwacha, Vrindavan, sponsored by his disciple, the philanthropic Sri Hargalal Beriwala and the Beriwala Trust in the 19th century. The predecessor of the current successor was Swami Lalita Ararangudivacharya, who died in July 2005 at the age of 103. One of his other disciples is the world-renowned Swami Gopala Ararangudivacharya, who has founded the monastery and temple known as the Sri Golik Dham Ashram in New Delhi and Vrindavan. He has also helped ordinary Hindus who are not Vaishnava to establish temples overseas. Of note are the Glasgow Hindu Mandir, Scotland, UK, the Lakshmi Narayan Hindu Mandir, Bradford, UK, and the Valley Hindu Temple, Northridge, CA. He has also facilitated major festivals at the Hindu Sabha Mandir in Brampton, Canada. Another of the famous leaders was Sri Radhavalabh Sharandavacharya, who presided at the Bajaraj Temple in Udaipur, Rajasthan. He is succeeded by Mahant Sri Mohans Haranji. In Abu Road, Swami Sri Yugal Sharanji Brahmachari takes care of Sri Patnarayan Dham, a wondrous centre worshipping an ancient deity of Lord Vishnu. He provides top-level Ayurvedic care and has thousands of patients visiting daily. The Mithila Kunj Ashram is operated by disciples in the tradition of Swami Sri Mukundavacharya, another of Swami Sri Harivyasdevacharya's 12 main disciples. At Vamshivata, the site of austerities of Harivyas's preceptor, Swami Sri Shribhata, the branch of Swami Sri Adavagamandadavacharya Ji, has its headquarters. Swami Adavagamandadavacharya Ji, another of the 12 disciples of Swami Sri Harivyasdevacharya, is of note for his establishment of the practice of Rasa Leela performances, which continue today and are performed by devotees initiated in other sects and even folk artists. His disciples are led by Swami Rupkishore Devacharya based at Sri Chain Bihari Ji Kunj.